Hello there, you're with Star Television Network on Channel 21, and this is the national news with me, Sienna Wright. First, the headlines. Maristope, Sierra Leone, in collaboration with the government of Sierra Leone and other partners, have launched the Maritime Sierra Outreach Boat for Banff and other islands.
I'm excited to host you today on the official launching of the medical boat services for Banff Island.
One of the potential aspirants of Romande chiefdom have provided free medical treatment to over 700 people in the chiefdom.
But I believe, see, if you give people a well body, somebody go able to grab and you go do in farming. And when well body day na a chiefdom, believe me, people are going to work.
The SOS Amamina International College Sierra Leone has held its matriculation ceremony with the aim of promoting technical vocational education and training for young people.
We are preparing young men and young women who can immediately graduate to become businessmen or women on their own.
The Brave Soul Film Production, the first film production ever in Sierra Leone, has unveiled a movie poster and trailer titled Deadly Passion.
Ladies and gentlemen, all is not lost. As I can say,
the director of Don Bosco Fambu, George Christopher Foley, has called on the government to take the issues of street child very seriously in the country.
The major constraints, I think, the major constraints is the extreme situation of vulnerability of many of these little girls who have suffered all kinds of abuse.
Those were the headlines. Well, it's now time for the news in detail with me, Sienna Wright. Maristope, Sierra Leone, in collaboration with the government of Sierra Leone and other partners, has on Monday, 24th June 2019, launched the Maritime Sierra Outreach Boat for Banff and other island communities across the country at the Seacoach Aberdeen in Freetown. Adma Samai has more.
The country director of Maristope Sierra Leone, Dr. Ifoma Omo Obi, said he is pleased with both the national and international partners who support their drive to eradicate the dangers of teenage pregnancy, which is one of the main threats to unsafe abortion that contributes significantly to the high maternal mortality in Sierra Leone.
I'm delighted to host you today on the official launching of the medical boat services for Banff Island and coastal line community. The event that brings us together today makes me very happy in a special way, since it touches on a very important subject that is particularly personal to me. It touches on our ability to reverse the trend.
The keynote address, the Honorable Minister of Health and Sanitation, Professor Alpha Tijanwe, said the delayed cause for women that is pregnant in Freetown and rural areas is to access health facilities, and it takes time to get to those facilities, which the Ministry of Health and Sanitation has launched the ambulance service.
Is that the primary delay for a woman that is pregnant in Freetown as well as the rural area is to access health facilities. The time they take to get to those facilities. The Ministry of Health has launched the ambulance service, of which we have rehabilitated 167 ambulances, of which we are only using about 70 now as I speak. All of a sudden, we have reduced the time for women to be able to access health facilities.
Presenting the Honorable Vice President, Dr. Juliet Jallo, the Honorable Minister of Political and Public Affairs, Ambassador for the Yumkela, launched the Maritime Sierra Boat for Bond and other island communities. Maristob Sierra Leone has been in Sierra Leone for 33 years, working to build a safe space for women, tackling sexual reproductive health and family planning issues through outreaches, clinics, social marketing, and strengthening the public sector. For Star TV News in Freetown, I am Admasamai reporting.
One of the potential aspirants of Romande chiefdom in the Carina district in the northern region has provided free medical treatment to over 700 people in the chiefdom, aimed at improving the health of residents of the chiefdom. Andrew Bestman reports.
Addressing a large crowd of residents in all the 6 sections of the chiefdom, especially residents of Rutana village, the aspirant Ali Kanu said he is providing the free medical treatment to residents of Romande chiefdom so as to make them get better health, adding that this is not the first time he is assisting residents of those communities.
The reason why make I decide for treatment people, not so everybody go able to do. But I believe, see, if you give people a well body, somebody go able to grab now you go do in farming. And when well body day na a chiefdom, believe me, people are going to work. At least not to everybody again go and say, pass work, I go find work, all I am to government. But some people are, look, we get farmers then. We get land away, say, if you do farming, you go able to get. You see, I find out say the people are sick. And sick them boku, especially malaria, typhoid, this bozy, and ania. A boku they disturb people. So now that make what I don't work out, all Romande chiefdom. As he say, the first thing what I for do for us, as a aspirants, what me get for can rule me people in, the first thing I need for offer them free health care, make sure that I take care of their health, let them get good well body.
The chairman of Baifonti Sati ruling house at Rokel section, Mohamed Kumra Baisise, disclosed that there are other aspirants who are contesting to become the paramount chief of the newly established chiefdom, noting that Ali Kanu stands out to be exemplary.
Now we take him. See, this man, no pin him. This will not be honorable, he not be councillor. He begin to do this. He do fine things like this. He bring stores them with his small brother. Then they do farming. All they survive inside. Now we decide say, oh, this now we get the power. And if we people them, Romande, then see, they look choice, they pick this man, they put up before we say, we don't prosper. God don't give you somebody.
In an interview with the village headman of Rokel community, Mohamed Kamara commended the aspirant, Ali Kanu, for providing medical treatment to the people of Romande chiefdom, and also encourage him to do more so that his people will have better health facilities.
Apparently, now we begin. So now we want for this chief here. Now we want like can't control the Romande chiefdom. Now we begin and you don't do something for me. This medical, free medical, also we bring cancer to me now. You don't help me. You meet me doubt business, but now you don't can't give me chance and help me. Now we want this around village here, so all you don't help me. And now people then they call them for like help more because you don't see that what you don't do. And you do and pay paper. So if we can, for count to map now for we, for the chief, now want.
The provision of free health care to residents of the Romande chiefdom is aimed at alleviating the deep in-pocket expenditures towards addressing their health challenges. Andrew Bestman reporting.
The SOS Amamaina International College Sierra Leone has held its matriculation ceremony with the aim of promoting technical, vocational education and training for young people. Yessi Hallowell has the detail.
The SOS Hamamaina International College is a non-profitable educational, technical and vocational training service institution that was established by the SOS Children's Village, Sierra Leone in 2017. The interim director of the SOS Hamamaina International College, Joseph Johnson, gave a brief history of the college, outlining the purpose for the establishment of the institution. He added that the institution was established to facilitate continuing formal education and career development for young people.
Group
we are preparing young men and young women who can immediately graduate to become businessmen or women on their own, or they can just move around and get doing jobs, manpower level jobs, so that they can earn some income to take care of themselves, which we have described to become self-reliant. There are others in the continuing education. Those who have, for example, like I said, the 3 WAS exams, WAS credits, and are not able to make it to university, but aspire to go to university. We are providing them with opportunities to pass through the NCTVA that they can also use later on as a credit to access universities and other institutions of higher learning. So that is why we are particularly implementing this program under the TVET framework. So for now, we are only offering courses at certificates and diploma levels. So for a start, we have courses for continuing education in public health, business administration, mass communication, to prepare some young journalists who will have the certificates through NCTV and become journalists. And then we are also offering courses in computer science, ICT, which is very attractive for young people. And then a small group here are offering human resources management, and a very large group of them are offering certificate and diploma courses in social work. So this also means that we are providing, preparing young people who can also go to serve their communities as NGO workers, as social workers, or even the government through the Ministry of Social Welfare as social workers.
The Director of the Technical, Vocational and Education Training, TVET, Dr. Masakoi, giving his keynote address, Dr. Masakoi congratulated the matriculant and went further to outline some of the future benefits that students from the SOS Hamamaina International College will get from TVET.
Today is a reasonably fantastic day in the history of technical, vocational education and training in Sierra Leone, as the SOS is helping the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education to promote TVET, a core program of this government and the ministry. In 2018, the GIZ published a diagnostic studies report on TVET sector in Sierra Leone, and the findings of that study, coupled with other valuations of the TVET sector in Sierra Leone, were striking. Those findings were striking, they were revealing, and they were also denting. At the same time, they were also hopeful.
Reporting for Star TV News, Yesi Hallowell.
The Brave Soul film production, the first film production ever in Sierra Leone, has unveiled a movie poster and trailer titled Deadly Passion on June 21st, 2019 at the British Council Hall in Freetown. Here is the report. The Brave Soul film production is the first film production ever in Sierra Leone to have unveiled a movie poster and trailer titled Deadly Passion on June 21st, 2019 at the British Council Hall in Freetown. According to the chief unveiler of the poster and trailer of the movie titled Deadly Passion, Alhaji Katko Kamara said Sierra Leoneans should respect the entertainment industry in the country as it is a key factor in the world that can help improve the country's economy. He further stated that if the government and other stakeholders embark on entertainment in the country, then Sierra Leone movies and music will make a mark in the world than Nigeria and Ghana. He, however, encouraged young people to work hard to pursue their career and make a better change in society.
So, ladies and gentlemen, all is not lost. As I can say, salute people in the and they really encourage and motivate and energize and promote the young one. The people in the local say, no, then right now, do business, and don't say so. They will not. I don't go to the depths of it, but I know they will not come. But when the Michael Jackson, the Isaac Williams, the other Humility, as we talk, we say, and the thing we connect. Humility, hard work, and persevere, connect, and succeed.
Of course, we're going to unveil tonight, we are doing the unveiling of the poster and the trailer. And this particular thing that has happened in this country is the first. Yeah. That I want to say even before you ask me. Sure, I know. It's the first in this country. Well, I don't know if it has happened in other countries. An unveiling of a movie, poster, and trailer. And we are doing this because we want to set the mark. We want to set the pace. We want to lift Sierra Leonean movies in a higher level. We want to, at least people are always looking at Sierra Leonean movies that, now rubbish bro, what do you mean to go do salon movie? If I say, someone say, wait, tell us, say, go buy salon film, if I go buy salon film, 10,000 euros or 5,000 euros, I go buy Philippine, where you get 10 in 1. You get Nigerian movies on a 10 in 1. Come on, I'm talking to you out there that you really need to watch out for this movie, Deadly Passion.
The movie titled Deadly Passion is a love and action movie that depicts mutual relations. Stakeholders in the industry, however, has called on His Excellency the President and the First Lady to commit its government to improve the entertainment sector and make a better change for young people in society. For Star News in Freetown, I am Sienna Wright reporting. You're still with the national news here on Star Television Network on Channel 21. And the director of Don Bosco Fambul, George Christofuli, has called on the government to take the issues of street child very seriously in the country. He made this call against the backdrop on the number of street children roaming the streets of the capital city. George Elliott Sam has more.
As Sierra Leone braces towards enhancing an enabling environment to ensure every child has access to education and free health care, hundreds of children are being subjected to child labor in every part of the country, especially in various towns. In this regard, the director of Don Bosco Fambul, George Christofuli, has called on the government to take the issue of street child very serious in the country. Moses Bangura, age 15, said he has been on the street for over 4 years for what he described as unfair treatment from his parents. Moses said during his 4-year stay on the street, he has been involved in several bad and syndicate habits such as smoking, stealing, using drugs, and master of abusive language. He noted that he was later rescued by Don Bosco officials who adopted him to their homes at 4th Street in Freetown.
I've been in the street for the past 4 years, since the most I've been in the street and take care of everything. So if you say the program a bad program, so I make and be the candy. So but this last thing I went in the street and the couch all and about the 56 accounts. So yeah, I tell the person we talk saying the one person I know about I left 54. So now I tell the most thank you because for my career since I began a bad habit because fish me do one that day. I do bad I take drugs. Thief, I don't catch sign out, I don't see I don't run to life. So the most I don't tell the taking out for what's on me. I don't make enough for what I cause. I able respect, I able obey, what's they give me now they satisfy.
While speaking to Star Television, Director Don Bosco Fambul, George Christofuli, said the organization has been in existence for over a decade and has been doing extremely well in removing children, especially boys, off the street. According to him, Don Bosco Fambul deals with 200 and 700 children nationwide each week and therefore urge government to assist NGOs dealing with child issues in the country. George Christofuli blamed irresponsible parenting as one of the factors that leads children to the street. While calling on the parents to take the issue of street children seriously, he alluded to the situation in which a parent was sexually harassing his own child to have sex, a situation he described as a serious child abuse and an example of what forced children to street.
Well, at once in the residential programs we have more than 220 children in several shelters. We have 3 shelters, as I said, 1 shelter here for street boys. We have another shelter for girls who have suffered all kinds of abuse, and another shelter for girls who have been taken from the streets because they were living in a situation of streetism and at the same time in a situation of prostitution. One of the major constraints, I think the major constraints is the extreme situation of vulnerability of many of these little girls who have suffered all kinds of abuse. For example, I tell you, I have been 24 years in Africa, but I have never seen what I have seen in the past 4 years here in Sierra Leone since I arrived to Sierra Leone, to Freetown, in order to take over the directorship here in Freetown, in Don Bosco Fambul. For example, I've never seen so many girls who suffer sexual abuse. Since the president launched this national emergency on rape and child sexual abuse, I can assure you that the number of cases reported has duplicated by 4, by 5, and that is why I think that we have to ask ourselves, what is going on in Sierra Leone? Why so many cases of child sexual abuse? I tell you, the youngest one we have received in Don Bosco Fambul was 1 year and 3 months. A little girl raped by her own biological father. But we have so many cases of child sexual abuse. And the question is, how can it be that a teacher abuses her own pupil, her own student? How can it be that a biological father rapes? How can it be that the neighbor, a relative, an uncle rapes his own niece? And so these are the questions that really should be a call for all Sierra Leoneans. First of all, to break the silence. When you know that this is going on, we have immediately to report these cases to the Family Support Unit, to Don Bosco Fambul, to other NGOs, to the Ministry of Social Welfare, so that immediately we can intervene and save the life of a child who is suffering abuse. But not only sexual abuse, we are speaking about child neglect, child cruelty, early marriage. There are so many ways in which the rights of the child can be abused.
Don Bosco is one of the leading authorities in child protection and has been operating in Sierra Leone since 1998. The problems of street children, even after many years of effort, continue to be a difficult issue to deal with, both by the government and by institutions working for the protection of children. For Star News in Freetown, I am George Elliott Sam reporting.
Well, that's all we have for you here in our local news bulletin file for the hour on Star Television Network on Channel 21. I am Sienna Wright. Thanks for watching and do stay with us.